This is the bracelet one. This is a storyline reading as far as nuns. Okay, this is as far as nuns, as far as spiritual justice, because spiritual justice is warranted to any and everybody who's walking this earth. So we have a lot of nuns that are under the umbrella of saying that they are a nun because of God, but God didn't tell anybody to be a nun, because that means it makes you dysfunctional, right? Being dysfunctional means that you don't have the real love or experience the real love with a man like you should, and just the real love of just engaging with regular people in the world. Because being a nun, you are blocked off, shut off in a convent. Some go out to do different things, I know, missions or whatever they do, but still, that's a dysfunction. Why would you want to be closed off from the world, from knowing people, meeting people, living your life, being a healthy, loving, minded person? Why? Because you're dysfunctional. So there's a lot of nuns that are gay, and they are gay because they not living their life like they should, a regular person, and they using God as an umbrella and saying that they living for God because they don't want to express to the world that they are gay. So they go that direction and say, or they embarrassed that they gay, I guess. So they go that direction and say that they living for God. God never told any of these people to be a nun. They decided to be a nun on their own. So that's a man-made. That's man-made. God didn't tell them to be a nun, because you can love God and love God a lot. That don't have nothing to do with, that don't stop you from having a husband and children. Because I love God a lot, but that don't stop me from having children and having a person in my life to love. So that's a dysfunction. And we have a lot of people who then created these things they've created and using God as an excuse because they are homosexual and what's going on with these people. Because that's dysfunctional. Because why wouldn't you want to live your life as a person, a regular person, like you should in this world? Meet a man, love a man, have children, engage with the world. You want to be shut away in a place with a bunch of ladies, hiding from who you really are, because you're hiding from who you really are because God didn't create that. Man created that. That's why priests do what priests do, because they homosexual. And that's the way that they can be able to be under the umbrella and say that they living for God, but all the time they abusing children behind the scenes. Instead of just being a regular person out here, and if you're homosexual, you just get out here and be homosexual. But instead, they don't want to get out in the open, so they want to hide behind the collar of saying that they are a priest and molest children over there and get their needs met, instead of just coming out in the open and being a regular person and just be gay if you're gay. Get what I'm saying? So the same for nuns, because there's no nun that love God more than I love God. There's no nun that's in this world that love God more than I love God. But I'm not a nun, see what I mean? So just because you're a nun, that don't mean you love God more than anybody out here. It just shows that you are dysfunctional, and you have a dysfunction. And the dysfunction is that you are gay, or that you don't want, there's something going on with you psychologically where you don't want to deal with the real world, people in the world. You want to hide away from people in the world. You don't want to engage with real life. What's real life out here? You want to hide behind the walls and escape. And all that is a dysfunction. So let's just do a storyline reading for nuns, okay? So whoever it goes with, whichever one, or just a group of you, take it because it's for you. Because it's time for people to change up in the world and stop hiding behind these masks that they hiding behind, and covers and coats and robes, because that's what you hiding behind, right? Because you don't love God more than I love God, and I don't wear a nun outfit, right? We got a bunch of people that got a bunch of dysfunctions going on with them, and they made to seem like they are better than somebody else, but you're not better than anybody who's walking out here that goes to church and love God to the fullest. You know, it just shows that you have some kind of dysfunction, and you need to work on it and come out in the real world and live your life. God didn't tell you to do that. That's something you chose, and God knows that you chose it, and God wants you to come out and live your life again. Love God out here in the real world, like everybody else that love God deeply in the real world. Okay? Okay? So we have, look, this card jumping out, and I can say it for you too. You entangled in an environment full of G's, full of nuns, full of people that look just like you, that got dysfunctions just like you. So let's just flow. Universe, give me a storyline reading for nuns. This goes with nuns. Okay? Because nuns was created by whoever it was created by, and it probably was a lady who was gay, and she started it all. If not a lady who was gay, a man who was gay, and that probably would be a priest, because they are gay. They don't want a woman, so they definitely are gay. Okay, let's just see. Three. Okay, I hear three. Okay, we got three over here. Over here, that's all. 7. Okay. Let me get number 7. Whoa. So we have right here. I'm the Brass Love One. Healer Tarot is my name. The Brass Love One here on YouTube, okay? This channel is about spiritual justice, bringing out spiritual justice. You getting spiritual justice. God handling you with spiritual justice for something that you do wrong. Get what I'm saying? Sorry about that. Okay, let's see. Let's just flow a little bit. There's all abuse cards when you abuse someone or someone abuse you, right? Dex 3. Okay, and these are healing of the soul, Dex 7. Okay, when you wound someone, hurt someone to the core, or murder someone. Let's go with your top card. You're going to clarify something. Something need to be clarified, and I'm clarifying something, that you have a dysfunction, right? And that you're gay, and that you need to come from under that covering of saying that shield, that you're saying that God made you be there or told you to be there, or you love God more than anybody else, because you don't. You got a lot of dysfunctions that you need to deal with, right? Because God say choosing you first is always the best choice. Because God telling you choosing you first. Get what the card says. God say choosing you first is always the best option. Right? God say choose yourself first. Clarify. God clarifying to you. Choosing you first is the best option. That means you need to come from under that illusion that you have, right? Be fearless and come from out of that illusion. Get what God's saying to whoever you are. Universe, you talking to God. Universe, speak to me, lead me. You somebody that's in there that you want help. You want out of there, and you know you need to get out. You're talking to God. All right? Okay, you took your best shot, right? Or God telling you, take your best shot to plant your fortune. Come out of there. Okay? Somebody going to be amazed that you're going to be acting spicy, different, challenging, or whatever you're going to do, right? Because here you thinking about God, talking to God, and you're going to move on and fast and make a decision. Follow me? So it says right here, it's time for you to heal. And for you to heal is for you to come from out of that convent, wherever you at. And you're going to go get it, right? Because your ex is trouble. So your ex's trouble would be somebody in that convent. So somebody in there you dealing with, right? Or the ex could actually just stand for the whole convent. Get what I'm saying? Or it could stand for a person in there that you're going with or anything like that. And you're going to bring favor to it, to what is valid. Because what? This helped you up in your life being in this convent and making it where you might be talking to another woman because there's gayness in there. Because you pinpointed the action. Look at God. God wants you to stop loafing around and change house and get out of there. Because God says what? You are gorgeous. Right? That's flow. It says money. Some kind of way you accepted some money. Somebody gave you money maybe to keep your mouth shut. Or to have you engage with her or anything like that. Wait a minute. Let me, I had to blow my nose, so I'm going to pause